This episode of the Tapping Out Show is brought to you by Icon Beverages and Cigars. With hundreds of beers to choose from, you're bound to find the perfect brew for you. That's Icon Beverages and Cigars.
The Nothing Double Chocolate Imperial Stout, vintage 2017. You hold in your hand a beer so dark, so rich, you may lose yourself as you fall into the never-ending depths of temptation. The Nothing exists to be the most decadent, dark chocolate imperial stout. You have met your greatest foe, now defeated. Darkly roasted chocolate malts are combined with two types of cocoa nibs, creating a balance between subtle chocolate cake decadence and residual malt sweetness to pull you deeper into the complexity of the nothing. Don't be afraid of the dark. Insanely dark. SmogCityBrewing.com.
Welcome back to the Tapping Out Show. My name is Jeremy, this is Matt, and we're doing Smog City's The Nothing. I have not had this beer. We have not really had too many Smog City beers.
We've had a couple Smog City beers.
But
not this one.
Not this one. And it's actually, you said it was a seasonal, right?
It said online that it was a winter seasonal, but I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what it said. It doesn't say that on the bottle. But it did say that on, I think, on Untapped.
But this is actually something that we did pick up. Again, shout out.
This is right up your alley.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Shout out actually to Icon Beverages and Cigars out in Cyprus again for helping us get our hands on this one. I was actually pretty stoked about it when we got it.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually text messaged him when we picked it up that we had to do an ASAP kind of video because I just want to drink it. Like you said, this is more up my alley. I'm going to crack this one open. Let's check this out. Oh, this is so up my alley.
I'm usually 50-50 on these kind of beers. I never really know. It just kind of depends on, how they kind of balance out the flavor for me. I don't mind it too much, but if I'm really going to love it, just kind of depends on how it tastes for me. But Jeremy is a really big fan of what I normally call the Black Death. Something just super dark and black and just, looks like motor oil. That's more up his alley. I'm more into, pale ales, other kind of ales, and IPAs. But I do tend to like something like this as well, just kind of depending on how it tastes.
All right, so I can smell the cocoa nib.
It smells like melted chocolate.
It does, actually. I'm going to say it almost smells like chocolate syrup.
It smells like chocolate and stout, which it should smell like.
I'm going to say I smell cocoa nib, and I smell basically malt, chocolate malt. A lot of chocolate malt.
Yeah.
Which, as he pointed out, is right up my alley. So, let's do this.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, that had a little bit of a kick to it. That's actually really good.
It is really good. It tastes like almost like a coffee taste, but it's not coffee. It's almost like the cocoa, like the dark chocolate in the back. It doesn't really have a harsh kind of aftertaste like a lot of beers like this do.
So,
at least I think so.
This is an imperial. It's not barrel aged, which is kind of a no-no for Matt anyways, but it has an alcohol, a little bit of a burn. This is almost 10%. So
yeah.
It's got a little bit of burn inside, but both the beginning and the end of this, it's heavy malt, heavy chocolate. It's pretty good. And you know what? You're right. It almost tastes like chocolate syrup that you put on ice cream or Or like Nestle's quick kind of.
It really tastes like, to me, one of those like high end candy bars you buy that just has like a really high cocoa content on it, almost like 80%, or
like a C's candy kind of.
Yeah, something like that, or just really dark. It doesn't have that dark sweetness, just tastes like dark chocolate and beer in a really good way, though. I definitely would suggest this beer. It doesn't sound as scary as they're selling you. It's definitely, I expected it to be a little bit more stout, a little more blunt of a taste, but I'd say it's actually pretty smooth. And right when you're expecting kind of like, okay, there's going to be all the flavor, it's kind of going to hit you really hard. It kind of smooths out and kind of gives you just a little bit of a dark chocolate taste in your mouth, and which I was telling him I like the ones that actually do, taste like that. So I would definitely suggest this beer. So this is a good quality beer.
So, and only because he said it previous with the coffee concept, anybody that knows anything about stouts, especially imperial stouts and or porters, the spectrum of beers is hops make beers light, malt make beer dark, and gives it the different taste. IPAs being the higher end of the spectrum have a lot of hops. Stouts, imperial stouts on the other end of the spectrum have a lot of malt. Roasted malts, good roasted malts will have a chocolate and or coffee and or both.
Yeah.
And this does have that both, so you can kind of tell that these guys are using pretty good ingredients.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely a good quality beer.
Yeah,
I definitely would suggest trying this beer and any of their other beers.
So we're gonna finish these up. Email us if you have anything to say. It's info@tappingoutshow.com. Social media is all one word. That's Tapping Out Show. We're gonna finish these up. Cheers. You guys have a good night.
Cheers.